Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me here, Christelle Martinet, Claudia Monacelli, and I'm here for a reading, a session, really, a conversation. And this conversation came up because a follower of mine on my Instagram profile brought out several names. But when he mentioned, of course, Samir Sharma, there was something that struck me. This is the way it always happens. And similar to what had happened to him, he came to me at night when I was in my astral planes somewhere. And it turns out that Shamir had not passed. He was an earthbound soul. Even if he was in the light, he was an earthbound soul. Now, there's, of course, he died in August of 2020, I believe. I hope I don't get that wrong. But he was a friend of Sushant Singh Rajput. And his parents are rather old, which is why probably they weren't able to attend his funeral. And he might have a message for them as well. He also had a sister named Neva and a niece from her, both of whom he loved very much. And this follower of mine, of course, pointed these things out to me. He had a dog whose picture he had posted on Instagram and who he loved. And on the thumbnail of this video, he's with his dog. He had several co-stars that he was close with: Gitanjali Tikekar, Shalmali Desai, Shrenu Parikh, Kaveri Priyam. And of course, there are many things that probably people don't know about him. But what happened here? Contrary to what had happened with Sushant Singh Rajput, where he was, they declared him a case of suicide. This happened to Samir as well, and it ended there. They found him hung, and it ended there. Whereas in the case of Sushant, there were then developments and so many theories, and I myself have conversed with him. He was a qualified technician and worked in the IT sector of Bangalore. He might have left some kind of work or projects in relation to his qualifications still unfinished. He was also a good writer in both Hindi and English and used to post his writings on Instagram and SoundCloud. And of course, here too, there's a lot of things that are unfinished. Now, actor Samir Soni, who was a good friend of his, had told the media after his death that Sharma had once borrowed his car and had met with an accident, but had hidden the matter of the accident from him. And when he had visited Sharma in his house a month before his death, he did not seem mentally well. Sharma. I'd like to see if Samir's spirit would like to mention anything. And I ritualized his passing. He was in the light, like I said, and I wasn't able to converse with him unless he passed. And so I've left, some days have gone by, and here I am. Let's see what we hear from Samir. I am here, and most of you believe I hung myself. I committed suicide. This is not true. My death was different compared to Sushant Singh Rajput's death. Even though there are many similarities. I was not threatened in my life. My friend, so-called friend, Samir Sharma, was not to blame for my death, although he was a person who acted quite out of personal gain and for personal reasons. I was not mentally ill. Of course I was not. Before I died. Samir Sharma's link to anything concerning my passing is not true. I was surprised in my home and I was bound and drugged. I lost consciousness and I knew nothing after that. This is why I was earthbound. The shock, and I felt betrayed. No, I did not know those people who drugged me. Everything went so fast, I could not even say if they were men or women. But they took me by force, and I just deduce from this that they were men. Yes, it's true. I was very prolific in writing and in my work. I had so many projects for my future, and I so am sorry to have left my dear family members behind, especially my mom and dad. To them, I want to say that my love is immense, especially now that I have crossed over. It is a shame to believe that we must hate our aggressors. This is not my feeling now, although I served my time, so to speak, on earth because I was earthbound. This happened because of the trauma at that moment that I experienced. My death left many people saddened, and since I was not as famous as other actors, my case was closed before it was opened. You want to know why, of course, and perhaps who. I cannot say who, but I can know why. My work in IT, information technology, made me uncover very important information concerning crimes committed and crime syndicates. My computer was hacked by other specialists, and my IP address was found. This is how I became a target. You may want to know what I would have done with that information. And of course, I would have brought it to the forces that be to uncover any crimes. But I did not do this immediately because I too was in the position of illegally breaking into data from others. And this was a crime. My computer was cleaned, and no one thought that there was any crime committed in the case of my death. I am talking about a crime syndicate that organizes the trafficking of humans, not only children, as Sushant Singh Rajput had found out about. He and I were friends, and he and I knew the same things. We found the information in the same manner. I on my own and he on his own. We never collaborated on this, but we did communicate about this. The crime group I am talking about is not originated in India, but serves India for its purpose. India is an area where human trafficking takes place on a very large scale. The people who commit these crimes are from various different countries in the world. There are Russians, there are Ukrainians, there are several members from the former USSR. There are Europeans from 3 different European countries. No one from South Africa, and no one from South America. There are Vietnamese and Koreans in the syndicate. Unfortunately, my demise occurred before I could uncover this operation properly. Let me take a break here. It's very solemn, very sad, and very serious. What I get is he's not feeling any pain or regret for having passed, and is grateful to have this information emerge. These are the messages he wants to give us. Let me tune in again. I did not even tell my friend Sony about this because he is not a trusted individual. No one in my family knew about it. And of course, my secrets were only known by my dog, who I know does not speak. I think this is not the last death of an actor in India that will uncover this syndicate. And you will find, slowly but surely, each one of them will be killed in one way or another. The MO will be the same. Initial poison and then killing in some way that is shown to be a suicide. I believe that uncovering this syndicate is very, very important, but is also very, very difficult. There are human trafficking syndicates in every country of the world, even those countries that do not have people organizing it. The value of human lives is greatest in certain areas of the world and for certain reason. These syndicates lead to prostitution, pedophile on the younger humans that are trafficked, and crime being committed by those trafficked. They become slaves and are literally sold. It's so difficult to just let me clear the room. When you see news about a death which seems suspicious to you, I exhort you to question it. I exhort you to use social media to bring it to light. This may be the only way to eventually uncover these crime syndicates. He's very, very, very serious and gives me the impression of being a researcher, of literally being methodical in his way of searching for information and putting different pieces and different building blocks together. He has a funny streak, an odd streak. I could call it almost a quirk, and has sort of a look where I've never seen this person, okay? But what I'm looking at now is when he speaks at the end of a sentence, one of the sides of his mouth goes up as if it were to smile, but it's not a smile. It's almost like grammar, an apostrophe. and one of his eyes almost closed, it's twinkling. And this is his way, and he nods on a cross way, a diagonal way with his head. He's very, 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 the way he's presenting is lean, a checkered black and white shirt, not very lively, but a white shirt with thin black lines, out of his pants, dark trousers, and he has a very, very clear skin, very clear complexion. He's extremely believable, extremely communicative, and extremely reliable if ever he had to be a source. Yes, my research was meticulous. I had planned to wait 2 months and then bring my data forward. But it didn't happen because I was found out. And mind you, I never communicated this through electronic means to anyone. I only communicated by word of mouth to Sushant Singh Rajput. We have no reason to believe that my home was bugged or manipulated, but Sushant's home was. And this was how the information emerged that we both knew so much. Another message I would like to give you, and this is a message for humanity. I do not want to talk of unconditional love in the sense of loving each other, but in the sense of loving humanity. And for the love of humanity, it is so important for you to become socially involved in what occurs around you and what you learn from the media. Our world, your world, is made up of all of you, individuals, and it is all of you only through your efforts that you can change what happens in the world. There is no power so great than the power of one and the power of love in this sense. Believe you are powerful to allow others to feel your power and allow you to act on your power. Never, ever fear. Fear will ruin all of your gifts and all of your plans. No, I have not passed on to another life yet. It will happen shortly, and I will be going where I choose to go and where I am suggested to go in the spirit of what is best for humanity. he's saying there will be a second coming. There will be a coming. There will be a coming of lords that many of you pray to and worship. There will be a coming, and at the same time, there will be an ending. The ending you have felt recently with the onslaught of a pandemic. That was a sign that one part of the world ended. One part of habits people have on the earth have ended. All of you now are creating a new consciousness, and it is only through this that you'll be able to change the world. When I say world, I mean the world at large, humanity, all of humanity. You ask if I have seen Sushant here. Yes, but not only Sushant. When you cross over, it is as if you are welcomed by all those you knew, all of your ancestors, and there is a familiarity. You feel your soul is being raised up and embraced by those common to you. Never, ever fear death, and never, ever mourn for too long someone's passing. Remember that they do not feel any pain as soon as they pass, and this should show you that you no longer need or should feel the pain. Pray, and you will see the light. Give thanks, and the heavens are yours. Be kind, and you shall grow in your divinity. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. It wasn't a light spirit, and light, not light and dark. He wasn't a light presence, but he had a strong message that, was heavy in and of itself. But the main message that is so difficult for us to always hear is that we make a difference. We make a difference. 1 + 1 + 1, we all make a difference. We are one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy that, and I thank my Instagram follower who brought this soul to light, and I was able to make the soul transcend. I do wish to just tell you, open my services, a free service, a free lesson. Come to one of my free lessons in movement and my latest breath work session. Come in for a trial. Just try it out. It's done on Zoom. And especially the breath work aids in your meditative practice and learning how to touch your soul, how to find yourself. Write to me at the address that you see, or the top address for your service, for any service, if you want me to channel for you, if you need a reading for yourself or a soul therapy session. I hope this was of help to you. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.